Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. And if you guys follow me or follow my community posts on YouTube, you guys probably already know what I'm going to talk about. But if you guys didn't see that post, don't worry about it because we're going to get into it right now. I'm going to get into it even more tonight on a live stream. I am going live, so be on the lookout for that when I do go live. But I want to talk about this whole thing of Gemini Nano not being supported on Pixel 8 because of hardware limitations. Myself and several other YouTubers are talking about, especially those YouTubers who are like me and are big fans of Google Pixels. We're really kind of going into it because a lot of weirdness has been happening lately when it comes to Google. And what I mean by that is that if you kind of look back, right, Circle of Search is supposed to make its way to the Pixel 7 Pro. I don't know if it's the Pixel 7 also that's going to get it, but I believe the Pro model is going to get it. And the Pixel Fold is not going to get it, which is crazy because, you know, like a lot of people have been pointing out, the Fold, the 7 Pro and the 7, they have the same chip. The only difference there is obviously size, the type of display technology, and the fact that, you know, one has more RAM than the other. And so I found that strange that the Pixel Fold, a, you know, $1,800 device that Google put out, is not getting the treatment that the Pro models are getting. I find it strange. I would think that, you know, they would want to support that. But now we got this bit of news coming up, which is the Pixel 8 Pro will get Gemini Nano, but the Pixel 8 won't. And Google says it's hardware limitations, which I find that hard to believe. I'll get into reasons why. I did my own research after, you know, seeing a couple of videos from other content creators, and I was like, let me do some work. And so this morning I was kind of just perusing around, and some of the things that the creators who talked about this said is actually absolutely true. So if you don't know what Gemini is Google's replacement for Google Assistant. Okay, so this is their AI system that is, you know, being rolled out to Google Pixel phones. You can get them on, you know, older Pixel devices. Like I have it on, you know, Pixel 5a and the Pixel 5. So you can get it on older of them. It replaces Google Assistant, and there are 3 levels to this. There's Gemini Ultra, Gemini Pro, and Gemini Nano, and each have levels of intelligence sophistication, with Gemini Nano being, I guess, at the very top of that list. Now, the Google Pixel 8 Pro will get it. What I find strange is that Google claims that the Pixel 8 cannot get it because of hardware limitations. So I started to think, what hardware limitations are there? Well, you know, they both have the same Tensor G3 chip, so that can't rule on the chip being the issue. Then I was thinking, like many other content creators thought, well, it could be the amount of RAM, right? Because the base models have less RAM than the Pro models. And then I was like, okay, but one content creator, Shane, mentioned that the Galaxy S24 has the same amount of RAM as the Pixel 8. Not the Ultra, the base model S24, and that will get Gemini Nano. And then I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right? Now, the only difference between the S24 and the Pixel 8 is the chip that's being used there, right? With Samsung using a Qualcomm chip and Google using in-house Tensor. But then again, when I think about it, Google made the reason to go to Tensor wasn't the reason for them to be able to support their own stuff. So then why aren't they able to support it on the Pixel 8? That is the question, and that's where I'm starting to get disappointed in Google, because if this is all a tactic to push people to buy the 8 Pro, like Google just needs to like revamp how they're building their devices. And I mean that. Absolutely mean that. Me being a Pixel fanboy, I'm saying it. If Google is going to do this because they want people to buy the 8 Pro, you're going to have a hell of a time convincing those people who are the base model Pixel fans to go with the Pro model. And I'll tell you why, Google. I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to clue you in. You can throw your life at it. The reason why some people go for this size model, this is my Pixel 7, right? The reason why some people go for the Pixel 7 rather than the 7 Pro, it's not because they don't want the additional camera. That's a sacrifice that even myself is willing to make if I bought this. It's not the amount of RAM. Like, you know, that's a sacrifice, again, that we are willing to sacrifice. But the reason why we go with your base model is the size. At the end of the day, if someone handed me a Pixel 7 Pro and a Pixel 7 and I only can walk away with one, I'm choosing the Pixel 7 because of the size. This is more comfortable and manageable through my day-to-day. Yeah, I can use a Pixel 7 Pro. It would be nice. It's bigger. And eventually, you know, if I was to hold the 7 in one hand, the 7 Pro in the other hand, and keep it in my hand all day, I know that I can make it through the whole day with the 7 in my hand. It's going to be more comfortable holding than the 7 Pro. So if you want people to go Pro, then maybe you really shouldn't have this huge divide. Maybe the 8 should basically have everything that the 8 Pro has, and then people will choose that, right? Now, how does that work against us consumers? Well, obviously we're going to pay more to play, right? Because you already know Google was to add in the extra telephoto sensor and add the same amount of RAM as the larger Pro model size. Then if the Pro model is $999, then I'm pretty sure that it's the price for the base in a Pro hardware setting is going to be $899 to $949. I know it's not going to be a marginal cash difference, and so that's something that if Google's like, well, we want to be able to to have an affordable model, but we also want a Pro model. No, the goal here is to get more people to buy Pixel. So my absolute thing is give Gemini Nano to the Pixel 8. Give it to them. Continue. You can't do the same tactics as what Samsung and Apple have made faults on. You're starting to kind of pull their puppetry mastery, and us techies, we're gonna see it really fast, and we're gonna call your ass out on it. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, is basically talking about my frustration with Google of doing this, because it's not something that I would ever want to see Google doing, which is BSing a lot of people to try and force people to buy the Pro model to get that Gemini Nano. Now, if you're somebody like me that doesn't let himself get binded by features, then hey, you're totally fine. Continue purchasing the base models. You're golden. But for the ones that really want to use Gemini Nano, this really sucks for them, and they're kind of like put between a rock and a hard place, because if they were on the 7 and they're now about to upgrade, if they want that Gemini Nano, they're going to have to go with the Pro model Pixel 8. But if they don't care for it, they can go with the regular Pixel 8. But then it even just pisses off Pixel fans, because then they're like, the Galaxy S24 can get it. So if they can get it, why can't the Pixel 8 get it? Not a good look for Google. You guys comment your thoughts in the comment section. I appreciate that. Peace.